Your resume is not getting shortlisted, not because the market is slow, not because companies are not hiring product managers, but rather because you are still listing down responsibilities on your CV while 7 out of 10, that's right, 7 out of 10 employers are now hiring for proof of skill. How do I know that? Because I used to be that guy who was listing down responsibilities in his CV myself. Hi, I'm Coach Sumant Malhotra, and in this session, we are going to discuss about how to build a kick-ass CV, a CV that actually gets you shortlisted. Let's strap in. Now, what happens is, back in November 2020, I had to take a break from my own career. It took me a lot of hit and trial, and I got rejected many times, and eventually I think I cracked the secret sauce to getting shortlisted. Once I cracked job offer, after that I in fact started reviewing others' resumes as well. It's been more than 8 years since I have been reviewing PM resumes, and I think I might have gone over more than 1500 PM resumes so far. And you know the fun fact? In almost all of those resumes that I've reviewed, I have spotted the same mistakes in almost every CV that I've gone through. So that's what we are going to discuss. Okay. The problem is that a lot of product managers, they are still committing these mistakes because something changed and people were just not informed about it, right? So the old style of building resumes included putting in keywords that would talk about your roles and responsibilities in your current and past roles, right? It's like having the exact line that you write in a job description pasted into your CV. The problem is, anybody can do that. Anybody can write that same line from the job description. And that doesn't really tell the hiring manager anything about the candidate. Think about it. If I simply say that I have the experience of handling a B2B product, what does that really tell you? I might have just worked in a company that has a B2B product as a product manager. But did I really make any impact? Can I really prove my skill of being a good product manager just by saying this line? Exactly, right? That's precisely why that mindset of hiring managers has now shifted from this to, can I see the proof that a candidate can do the job? And that is the main shift in the mindset of the recruiter. Okay. The screening question itself of your resumes has changed. But here is the irony. Nobody sent that memo to the product managers who were building those CVs. Yeah. And that's why most resumes didn't change at all. Yep. Let's also talk about certificates. When I talk about proof of skill, think of it this way. Certificates are not the villain here. Okay. So relax. Having said that, certificates show intent. Certificates have some value, but certificates are still not proof of skill. It's almost the same reason as why degrees are not really a proof of skill. They are a proof that an institution puts their stamp of approval on you to have completed their curriculum, cracked their exams, and gone through the due process to get that certification. It is just a signal of your alleged skill in that particular domain. It is not a proof of skill. Okay. Your proof of skill essentially would be things that you have actually built or impact that you have actually achieved while working as a product manager. Remember? Yeah. And that's why you need to showcase proof, because that is the only thing that showcases ability in your CV. Yeah. All right. Anyway, moving forward, let's have a look at what I really mean by that, how it looks like in real life. Think about it. Let's say there is a CV point like this written in a CV. Led product development for the mobile checkout experience. A lot of people write CV points like that because, again, very similar to how you see this on job descriptions. Yes. Now, you tell me, by reading this line, as a recruiter, what do you really get about the candidate by reading this line? Think about it. They were probably there. Yes. They were a part of a process. Basically, they were in the room where there was a team that was building this. But what was the real impact of them being there? You don't know, because the candidate didn't really tell. Yes, this is just the activity. This line does not tell anything about the product sense, the judgment, etc. of the product manager. And that is the key secret sauce missing in this line. Okay, that's what the recruiters are looking for, and that is the gap. Okay, so the key thing that you should be putting onto your CV points is actually, what did you actually decide and why? Showcase the reasoning, or at least give us some as recruiters to go ahead and ask you a question that why did you decide this over that? The question that every hiring manager is silently asking is actually this, and that is what we want to see on the CV. Yep. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to share my 6-element proof checklist. Think of it this way. If you were to tweak every bullet point on your resume today, then at least 3 or more of these elements that I'm going to share with you, you would probably try to showcase in every bullet point on your resume. And that will make your resume shortlist worthy. Yep. So let me show you what I mean by that. By the way, in case you find that any CV point of yours can only use less than 3 of these elements, my suggestion, either rewrite it or simply remove it from your CV. It's probably not going to be shortlist worthy. Okay, let's get started. The first, and I think one of the most important things to showcase, is the decision. Okay, don't just say I led the team. Anybody can write that. When you become a product manager or a leader in your own rights, you can simply use the word lead or led, right? Problem is that still does not really showcase your decision. Yeah. Instead, tell what did you really lead. What was the product that you decided to build? Decided being the keyword. Okay. So led end-to-end build of XYZ product, that showcases decision. Yes. Similarly, tell the problem. What was the real problem that you were solving? Who was actually affected and by how much? For example, I improved search drop-off. How big was this problem? It was 12% of weekly transactions. Yes. After this, would have probably talked about how much we improved this, etc. Yeah. But the important part is we are describing the problem here. Who was affected, what was solved, and how much was it worth? Yes. If you're not putting in these impact numbers on your CV, you are anyway reducing your chances of getting shortlisted. Okay. Third, the trade-off. This is interestingly the element that most people skip. And ironically, this is what PMs are usually paid for. Let me explain what I mean by that. You need to showcase what did you choose not to do. Yeah. And then why? For example, ship the mobile checkout first, which was a 6-week build versus a 5-month desktop rebuild. You see, the trade-off is so easily obvious now that okay, you chose to go for the mobile checkout versus a desktop rebuild because this could have been done faster. Yeah. Now that you know this, you are able to recall at least a couple of lines on your CV that you can tweak this way, aren't you? Next, the metric. At least tell the before and after, and hopefully with a time frame, because a lot of people do this. They talk about I increased ARR by 10% or something. But many times I've also seen candidates write generic stuff like I increased revenue. By how much? Similarly, I increased revenue by 10%. In what time frame? Because if you increased it in 10 years, then it would have been better if we had simply put that money in a fixed deposit, isn't it? Next, stakeholder complexity. Who did you convince or push back on? Yep. And the outcome. What actually changed? Did you actually solve an old problem? Did you actually remove any obstacle for a larger product, etc.? Yep. Like I said, these are 6 elements, but you should try to choose at least 3 of these for every CV point. And that is what is going to make your CV points look like decisions, look like trade-off, look like product mindset rather than just job descriptions. Okay. Let's look at some examples. This was an example from one of my students. Top IIM grad, had a really killer profile, but was not really getting shortlisted. Once we went through his CV, we realized the problems that he had. I just listed down a couple of them. For example, led product development for the mobile checkout experience. That doesn't really tell the recruiter anything. We rephrased it by changing it to something like this: prioritize mobile checkout over desktop redesign. This was essentially 68% of the conversion drop off, and the decision that we took was a 6-week build versus 5 months. Based on this, we were able to improve conversion by 22% in 8 weeks. In the real CV, we just changed this full stop to a semicolon. That's it. Everything else remained pretty much the same. Now check out this line versus this line. Do you notice the difference in the tone, in the credibility of this line? Yeah, that is the impact talking. Okay, same person, same project, but very, very, very different perspectives that are offered. Think like a hiring manager. Which line would make you feel like asking the candidate more about them? Yep. Similarly, instead of saying we added a search filter, or added a search filter, created a search filter, instead we said we prioritized search. This was a decision we took. 60% of the users were hitting drop off in search. That's why we took this decision. As we built it, this was a 2-week build versus a whole 3-month redesign of the, let's say, product itself. So instead of going for the 3-month redesign, we chose the shorter project of 2-week build of search. And that's what we did. After this followed some impact numbers about how we reduced the drop-offs, etc. Yes, again, same work, adding a search filter, but completely different signal that is being provided. Make sense? So this is an exercise for you today, right? I want you to go back to your current resumes and open your 3 most recent bullets. Those 3 most recent bullets or sections, go through them and assess whether they sound like decisions or do they just sound like activity. And if they are sounding like activity, just throw them out or tweak them. The same way that I showed you in the previous slides, right? And finally, score them against those 6 elements that I have shared with you. Okay, at least 3 you should try to integrate in your CV bullets. Make sense? By the way, trade-off, I highly recommend to keep in your CV points, right? Because if you're not able to name the trade-off during interviews, chances are that the recruiters won't believe that you actually decided anything. So always mention the trade-off. It's important, right? Over a period of time, I already told you I've reviewed more than 1500 resumes so far, and I've always provided very specific feedback. I don't give templatized feedback or AI feedback. That has helped more than 1200 product managers get cracking into their PM or APM roles. Some of them work with some top names like Amazon, Meesho, Visa, IndiaMart, etc. Anyway, the larger point is, in case you want to get your CV reviewed with a coach who has had this kind of an experience and who claims to have the secret sauce of getting shortlisted, feel free to click the link given in the description below and let's get to talking. At the end, I would like to tell you just one thing. You gotta remember that good preparation, it beats good luck. Good preparation beats good luck. I repeat that every time. So get to preparation first. All the good things will reach out to you, but prepare hard first. This is Coach Sumant Malhotra. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.